Hello everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. Again, I'm playing with Dina's new release. I'm going to be creating a single page in this small craft journal. I do have quite a stash of these journals on my shelf, so I will still be using these even though they are going to be discontinued, as far as I know. So I'm creating a background which is just going to be using lots and lots of brush strokes of different colours, overlapping, to fill the page with colour. So this is another way that I can get that colour onto my page without kind of sweeping it across, or there's so many techniques, so many ways of creating a background. But yeah, I'm just going to be adding my rainbow colours onto my background using brush strokes like this. And as you can see, they're touching and overlapping a little bit. So you can see I'm still kind of following those rules of when you add paint to your background, you have it overlapping and touching, and then it creates that cohesive look. And it's not disjointed, unless of course that is the look that you are actually deliberately looking for. But this is such an easy way to get lots of colour onto your page. So the colours that I've used have been ruby, tangerine, lemon, lime, turquoise, orchid, and then this is raspberry. Really, really pretty. Of course, a bit of a rainbow vibe going on. Sometimes I have a very definite idea of how I want to create my background, and sometimes I don't. I just know that I want some bright colours. Maybe reflected by my mood, both whether I need cheering up or whether I'm feeling quite bright and cheerful. I don't know. I'm sure there is some psychology in there, definitely, influencing my colour choices. So this is the fabulous stamp set with these lovely little fawns on. And I'm going to be using this one that's sat down. I'm going to be playing on the small tag. So Dina is releasing these new square tags as well, in this new release, and they are lovely. Now, as Dina said herself, obviously you can cut other tags down to be square, but it is nice that you can use these ones and you're not kind of wasting bits of other tags. So there is a 3, 4 and 5 inch square tag, really lovely, and they work so nicely in this square journal as well. So I'm going to be stamping this small fawn sitting down onto my tag. I'm using black archival ink for stamping. It is my go-to choice really for stamping images, mostly just because when it's dry it doesn't move, doesn't shift, and I can use it with lots of wet media and it's going to play just nicely. Okay, so then I'm stamping a second image. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to use this as a mask, so that I can pop it over that fawn on the tag and add some paint behind. And then of course I've also got another image that I can use on something else. So sorry about my head there. And then I'm just going to line it up. and then pop my, I finish faffing about, pop my stencil over the top. I'm using the burst stencil, which is one of the new stencils, new coaster stencils from Dina. And then of course, look, I'm not prepared. I haven't got a blending foam on my tool, so I'm popping one on, and then I'm going to grab some colour, and I can add that colour all over the tag, knowing that my image behind is going to be safe and not affected by the paint. So this is an easy way to do stenciling when you're adding a little bit of masking. Right, I'm going to lift that off, and you can see then that I've got my image underneath nice and clear. And here I'm just going in, adding a little bit more colour just around the edge of the deer. There we go. Right, so I'm really liking how that looks and how it sits on the page as well, because there's a little bit of white going on this tag. I am then just going to use some pigment sticks just to add some light colour to the little fawn. So easy to colour in using scribble sticks or even Neo Colour 2s, just any kind of pigment stick. This is often how I use them, as like a watercolour, just to add some colour onto my page. Then I've added some white spots onto the back as well. Next, I'm just going to add some lines onto the beams, which are like a kind of sunrise happening behind my little fawn. I'm just outlining those lightly with a black gel pen. And then I'm just going in with a scribble stick in fuchsia. And I'm just adding a little bit of a darker colour around the edge, just like kind of making that image of the fawn pop out a little bit more. So then I'm thinking on my page of colour, I want some contrast on there. So I've grabbed this stencil. Honestly, it comes out so many times. I absolutely love it. It's my favourite one. Adding some stenciling on to my page as well, using that mantra stencil just to get a little bit of text on there. And then I'm just kind of echoing, because I've got a little bit of white left on my blending sponge. I'm just adding some more of those beams coming out. This tag is going to be kind of stuck in that bottom right hand corner, so that those little bits that I've added just echo what's on the tag. Then I'm just giving it a little bit of a border as well. Some ribbon through the top of the tag. This is just recycled sari ribbon. And then I'm going to pop some circles on. So that's one of my cookie cutters that I use for stamping and printing circle shapes. That's just some white paint. Then of course there's got to be some white splatters on the page too, so it's always easy when you've got a little bit of white paint left over. And then it would be time to think about my words. I decided to go for a small Posca pen. So this is quite a fine nib. I didn't want my quote to take away from the impact of the little fawn sat down on the tag. I wanted your eye to be drawn to that first and then to the quote. So Dina's talked quite a lot about how the fawn is a symbol of kind of people pleasing and fawning to other people's needs. So that's kind of what this quote echoes, really. Givers need to set limits because takers rarely do. So popping that in like that, you can see that it's nice cohesive page, but what you look at first is the little fawn with the beams of sunshine behind. I had a bit of type ledger left out on my desk, so I've stuck it to some card. I'm going to cut out a heart and pop it in, just tuck it in behind the tag, because I've kind of stapled that in a way that means I can hide bits and bobs behind it. So this is a great way to create like a secret journaling spot, where you can just tuck little notes in or words that reflect what's going on in your mind. All fun ways that art journaling is great for getting things out of your head. So I've just edged that with some black ink, put a little bit of stamping on, and I think I do go on to write some words on there, but then you can see that's just going to tuck behind there. Disappeared. You wouldn't even know it was there. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video using lots of bright colours and some of Dina's new release. Isn't it fabulous? And there's the words that I added to the heart. Yeah, I hope you found some inspiration, and I hope to see you again soon.